everyone, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you that are new here or just recently found my channel, I am Gwen. I am an older woman with transgender experience making all kinds of content. And as always, everyone here is welcome as long as you are kind and respectful. Haters will not be tolerated, and you can just click off. So, anyways, how's everybody doing? This is going to be really quick. Actually, I'm not going to spend too much time outside. It's very sunny, very hot here today. It's 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius. Very, very warm and very humid. So I'm going to do a little quick intro here, and then actually need to make a little road trip. So I'll be in the air-conditioned car, so we can talk some more there. So anyways, how is everyone doing? Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hope your weekend has been going, hopefully your week has been going well. Mine isn't, it was actually pretty good, which I can explain more when I'm in the car. So I think, yeah, gosh, I've only been out here like 3 minutes and I'm dying already. Yeah, we're going to have to continue this in the car. So I will be right back. I'm back. It's a lot nicer in the car than it is outside. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's so hot. Oh my gosh. And I think today, excuse me, I think today's the last day. Tomorrow's supposed to be in the 80s, upper 80s. I think Thursday is supposed to be the coolest. It's supposed to be about 80 through the weekend, and then we're going to be another round of heat. We're going to be back up in the 90s again next week, which would be mid 30 degrees Celsius range. So I'm like, wow, it went from 70-degree weather to 90-degree weather in like 10 days. It's amazing. Anyways, enough of the weather. Let's see. My weekend, or my week, last week, and through the week, really not too much going on. Thursday, I took my daughter to the airport, and she flew to Seattle, and she had quite the time getting there. She was flying Southwest Airlines, and she flew into Baltimore Washington Airport, BWI, and she had a layover there. And then as she gets on the plane, well, she was already on the plane, and then the people from Southwest announced they had to add more fuel so they could fly to Seattle. And then they said, oh, the plane's too heavy. We need volunteers to get off. So they had to wait for volunteers to get off the plane. The volunteers got off the plane. And they had to recalculate if they had enough fuel. And then they get ready. They hadn't disembarked from the terminal, but they were getting ready to push away. And thunderstorms rolled in and they closed the entire airport. So there was an hour delay there. So my daughter's flight wound up being delayed 3.5 hours. My gosh, that was insane. It actually kind of worked out pretty good because she was going to get into Seattle around a little after 5 o'clock Seattle time, and her boyfriend was flying in from Texas, and he wasn't going to get there till I think it was about 8:50. So it winds up being with the 3.5 hour delay that she wound up getting there. and she only had to wait half an hour for him to fly in. So that was really, really wonderful. So they had rented a car, and they jumped in the car, and off they went to their motel, which is just south of the city. And it was right next door to where they were having the convention. So they had a really, really wonderful time. So they were there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they got up, I think it was either 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, Seattle time. Drove the car back to the rental company, dropped it off, got to the airport, and my daughter's flight wasn't due to depart. I think her departure flight was 5:50 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and then she flew from there to Chicago, and she was there for a couple hours as a layover, and then she flew home, and I went and picked her up, and she got in about 7:30 our time last night. So she had a wonderful time, and she was telling me all about it. It was really sweet. So I'm glad she went. She had a really good time, and she had called me Sunday, and we were kind of sort of talking on the phone, and I had mentioned that my side of the family has a family picnic every year, and we usually have it in July because my brother's birthday is the 10th, my mom's is the 16th, and my dad's was the 19th. So I messaged my brother and asked if we were doing the family picnic this year, and he's like, sure. So we kind of set a date, and Becca was talking to Rick, and he had asked if he wanted to come up to see all of us anyways sometime this summer. So he was wondering if it would be okay if he came up for the family picnic, and I'm like, sure, that's not a problem. Not a problem at all. We'd love to have you. So he was going to look into tickets to fly up here. I think it's going to be the last Sunday, the 27th. I think it is the last Sunday in July for the family picnic. So he was going to look into tickets to see about flying up here. So anyways, he did message me about an hour ago and said that he found the cheapest tickets, and he would be getting here, I think it was like 4:30, it sounds right, on Saturday afternoon. And which I said was fine because either my daughter or myself could go pick him up. And then we would go to the family picnic on Sunday, and then Monday morning he had to be back at the airport. I think his flight is scheduled to leave at like 10 minutes to 6 in the morning. And I said, well, that's not a problem. I can wake him up and take him to the airport. So that's in the works. Let's see, really not a whole heck of a lot going on with me. I spent most of the weekend, I think Saturday and Sunday, I spent them just at home, taking care of a few things. Being that it's so warm out, kind of cut grass in stages because it's just so I just couldn't stay outside that long. Really not much planned myself for the rest of the week. Oh, I know, that's right. Friday is at the lab. They're having their annual Pride picnic. So my daughter and my son are going to go with me, and we're going to go to the Pride picnic, which we went. My son and I went last year. My daughter was working nights, so it's going to be kind of fun. She's never been, and it's always a lot of fun. I like it. So we got that planned for Friday. Saturday, I have my monthly volunteer to do at the airport. At the town hall. What am I thinking? Airport. I have that to do at the town hall, and in the afternoon, my daughter and I got to go get our hair cut. So we'll be talking to our stylist, kind of filling her in. My partner's moved to Panama, which is another entire story. She's moving again. She just can't take the heat and the humidity in the area that she's in, which is Chitre, Panama. So she actually found a one-bedroom apartment, which is big enough for her, and she put it to me. And she's due to move in August 1st. It's going to be in Boguete, which is in the higher elevations of Panama. The daytime temperatures are very comfortable, 70 to 79 degrees. At night it drops into the 60s, so it's you don't need heat, you don't need air conditioning. Simple ceiling fans or box fans will keep you cool. So this is her dream area of where she wanted to be anyway. So she's moving into a one bedroom there. Discussing it with my kids, and they're like, so we're not in her future. And I'm like, nope. It is what it is. And so the kids and I are gonna move in our direction, and she's gonna move in hers. If she has a one bedroom, she could have visitors, but it wouldn't be long term. So if let's see, if myself or say my daughter flew down to see her, we would have to stay at a hotel, and there's actually happens to be one right in front of the apartment complex where she's going to be living. So, I mean, it's not that it's a big deal, but it's kind of like we're just not in her plans. Oh well. So, anyway, so she's planning that, and she did call me last Wednesday, and we talked on the phone. First time since she's moved, which was May 20th, first time in just about a month that I've actually talked to her on the phone. So, and the interesting thing was she didn't ask about my daughter. She didn't ask about our son. She didn't ask about me, how any of us were doing. She asked about the two older female dogs. She didn't ask about Dexter. She doesn't like Dexter. And the rest of the conversation, and we talked about an hour, was all about her. So I'm like, okay, well, it just kind of shows what she feels about us, which is what it is. So anyways, then she was filling me in that the house that she's living in the Chitre, it's not the best. The doors don't seal at the bottom going outside. She's had an insect infestation. A lot of the furniture was just brought in. The mattress on the bed is used. Her kitchen table is what well, actually, it's a table that you would find in an outdoor establishment or maybe in a park where there's a hole in the middle of the table and you can put an umbrella in it. That's her kitchen table. So it's very haphazardly put together. My personal feeling is I think the landlord is just collecting rent. She's not putting any money into this house. In the U.S., we have a term for that, and that's called she's a slumlord. So, just the bare necessities to keep the house going, and she collects the rent. So, anyways, my partner did talk to the lawyer that we used down there and have him look at the lease. Excuse me. And the Panamanian laws are such that you can break the lease. You just got to give 30 days notice, and there should be no penalty. And so she's going to put it in writing, give 30 days notice, and her reasons why for me moving, mostly because of the heat and humidity. And then she's going to, not between now and then, but she's going to be there another month and through July, and then she's going to be moving across the country to Bogotá, and she's going to be going to her happy place. So more power to her. I'm perfectly fine here right now. So there we go. I guess really that's about it. Nothing really big. Like I said, Friday's the picnic and Saturday is our haircuts going into next week. Really nothing going on. It's gonna be kind of a quiet week, which is okay. It allows me to get some more stuff done. I did get some shelf brackets to put up on the other side of the headboard that I showed you next week, and then I can start planning my next little project, which is tearing up some engineering flooring between the laundry room and the kitchen and putting down tiles so the dog's nails don't scrape it all up like they did. And I can show you pictures next week. But anyways, so that's pretty much it for me for the next week. So I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your week and an even better weekend. Stay safe and stay healthy, especially stay safe. As always, like, share, subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, topics you would like me to talk about, please, by all means, in the comments section below. Everyone knows that I answer all comments, and you guys are the reason why I make my videos every week. You're all part of my extended family, and this is my way of keeping in contact with my extended family. So with that, I am going to close. So again, I hope everyone has a wonderful and fantastic rest of your week, and I will see you all here, maybe not in the car unless it's hot again, next week. Bye everyone.